Good morning, children. So, yesterday we have completed up to our first topic, that is atomicity, right? Monoatomic molecules, diatomic molecule, and triatomic molecules, right? And we have studied what is a molecule also, right? Molecule means, simple definition, molecule means a group of atoms are called molecules. Okay, simple definition of molecule is group of atoms are called molecule. So if in exam, if it is asking, you can give that definition. Okay, if in exam, if it is asking define a molecule, means you can write a group of atoms are called molecule. That definition is enough. Okay, then when next topic we are going to study, what is a mixture. Okay, what is a mixture or what is a compound. Okay, what is a compound. So if one atom, for example sodium atom Na, okay, if this atom is combining with one another atom chlorine, if two different atoms are combining together, if two different atoms are combining together, that compound, so now Na and Cl combine to form NaCl. So if two different atoms are combining together, that is known as a compound. What is a compound? A mixture of two or more atom of different element. What is a compound? Compound means a mixture of two or more atoms of different element. So another example I am showing, if I am taking same way H2O, okay, H2O is also a compound. Here how many hydrogen atom and oxygen atom? So two different atoms. So how many number, that is not a matter. Okay, that is not we are considering. In water there are H2, that means two hydrogens are there. Okay, so atoms of different element are combining together to form compound. Okay, what is a compound? Compound means a combination of two or more atoms of different element, that is known as compound. Okay, then what is a mixture? What is a mixture? Mixture means if I am mixing water, water is a compound, and NaCl is an another compound. If I am mixing two or more different compounds, a mixture of two or more, a combination of two or more compounds is called mixture. What is a mixture? Mixture is a combination of two or more compound. Okay, prepare lecture note. So now we have studied two topics. One is molecule and another one is mixture. Sorry, one is compound and another one is mixture. What is a compound? Compound means a mixture of two or more atoms or two or more molecules of same different types. Okay, different kind. So mixture of two or more atoms of different elements is called a compound. Example NaCl, H2O, etc. And what is a mixture? Mixture is a combination of two or more compounds. Okay, example salt water, salt solution. Okay, then mixture can be so what is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture means you have studied in 8th standard. That means it will be the two substances will be equally mixed to all where. For examples, that soft drink like rasna, okay, like that some color water. Okay, mixture, it is a mixture. So even color it have, right? Or salt water, everywhere, any portion of that water, if you will taste, you will feel salt taste, right? So that means that type of mixtures are known as homogeneous mixture. And what about heterogeneous mixture? Heterogeneous mixture means the mixture which is not evenly dissolved or distributed. Example muddy water or chalk water, like that. Okay, or mixture of oil and water, that is not completely mixed. That type of mixtures are known as heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so till now we didn't start our topic, our 9th standard syllabus. We are going to start the first topic, that is symbols. So at the earlier time, okay, from 1600 AD, okay, from 1600 AD, what happens is, that means from the 16th century, 16th century, alchemist means people who have tried to convert who tried to prepare costly metals like gold, etc., from cheaper metals. Okay, that are alchemists. Okay, these people have represented the substances that they used for their experiments by different types of pictographic symbols, like such as triangle for earth, then that moon symbol for silver, etc. Understand? That means at the earlier time. So now we know that for hydrogen we are using H symbol, for carbon we are using C, and for oxygen we are using O, for chlorine we are using Cl. Like that now we are using alphabetical symbols, right? But at the earlier time, okay, before the discovery of this technique, this method of symboling, at the earlier time they were used. So that means at that time number of element was very less, only 10 element or 20 elements were discovered at that time. So at that time what the people have done is they have tried to give symbol diagrams, pictures for the identification of elements. So at the earlier time alchemist alchemists have given some pictographic symbols like a triangle, moon symbol, sun symbol, etc. And after that, who came? John Dalton, who is the father of chemistry. He came and represented some symbols like a circle and a circle with a center dot, like this a circle symbol he has given for oxygen. So at that Dalton's time period only 10 to 20 elements were discovered. Okay, only that much elements were discovered during the time of Dalton. So what Dalton have done? He told that we can give small symbols for these elements. It is difficult to represent their name everywhere. So what he have done? He have taken this type of symbols for the representation. For example, circle symbol he have taken to represent oxygen, and circle with a dot symbol at the center for representing hydrogen atom. Like this, some pictorial representation have given by Dalton also. Okay, so at the first time who have given this pictographic representation? Alchemist have given. So after the alchemist time period, when Dalton came, who is Dalton? Dalton is the father of chemistry. He came and he have given some symbols for the identification of elements, because at that time period only some element 10 to 20 elements were discovered. So for them it is easy to represent the elements with a symbol. So that he have given this type of pictorial representation for that elements. So some pictorial representations are given here. See, only these much elements were discovered during Dalton's time period. So for hydrogen he have given the symbol with a circle at a dot at the center. So don't want to by heart this one. Okay, because in modern chemistry we are not using any one of these. So it will not ask. So for you have to by heart the symbol of hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. Okay, only these first three elements symbol you have to by heart, because not in exam, board exam it didn't came. In your exercise question, one question is there. Board exam also it is not asking, because it is not much important, because in modern chemistry we are not using any of these symbols. Okay, so don't want to by heart these symbols. So then after this one, so many number of elements now recently there are 118 elements discovered. Okay, recently in modern world there are 118 elements discovered. So it is very difficult if we are giving these type of pictorial representation, means we will get confused which one is given for which one. It will be very confusing. So that what was the next technique given was, who came there next? After John Dalton, who came? John Jacobs Berzelius. Okay, he is another chemist or another scientist. He suggested that it is difficult to give symbol for all the upcoming elements. That means in future more elements will be discovering. So it is not easy to give these symbols. So that he suggested that we can use the first letter of each element. Okay, and the condition he have given is we have to write them only in capital letters. For example, at that Dalton's time itself hydrogen was there. So he have given one sample that for hydrogen we can use capital letter H. That means their first letter we can use as their symbol. So John Jacob Berzelius, don't forget these people's name. Okay. So first alchemist came, then next who came? Dalton came, and now John Jacob Berzelius. He told that it is easy to use the first letter of the element as the symbol. And what happened next? And he represented that, sorry, uh, with a capital letter should represent that particular element, such as what he have given. O for oxygen, O letter should be given for oxygen, H letter should be given for hydrogen, and C letter should be given for carbon, and like that. Okay, at that time how many elements was discovered, like that we can give the first letter for that element. Okay, but in some cases, the suggested symbol did not agree with the English name of the element. So he has suggested some uh, that English some elements. Okay, so for some element he didn't try to use the English name. Okay, because some elements name, because now only we are telling for gold, we are use gold, the English name is gold, but the name for gold was first given by some another language like aurum is the proper name of gold. So that aurum, from that aurum name we cannot use A for gold, because we are using the English word. So at that time the English name was not given to aurum. Okay, so like that some confusion was found for naming that element. So after so many years, what happened? So what he have done? Sorry, what our John Jacob Berzelius have done for some element like gold. See, for gold, the English proper name is gold, but it was a Latin name. So aurum. So what he have taken? He have taken AU. For argentum, silver, it was argentum. He have taken AG. Like this way, symbol have given by John Jacob Berzelius. Okay. So this also you don't want to study. We have to study from our I will tell you which one you have to by heart. From there only you have to by heart. Okay. So this table also you don't want to by heart. Then next, after this method, who given this suggestion? John Jacob Berzelius. What was his suggestion? His suggestion was to use the first letter of their English word as the symbol, and the condition was the letter should be in capital letter. And the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, that means in IUPAC. Okay, IUPAC means it is a council for giving name for our newly invented elements. Okay, they are giving name for all the inventing elements. Okay, so the IUPAC has taken that method for naming the elements, and so IUPAC have told that we can use same method for naming. So what is a symbol? Symbol is the short form that stand for the atom of a specific element. That means the shortest pronunciation, the shortest abbreviation of an element is called symbol. The shortest representation of an element is called symbol. Okay. What is a symbol? Symbol is the shortest representation of an element, or the symbol representation of an element is called symbol. Symbols are the simplest representation of an element. For example, H for hydrogen, C for oxygen, N for nitrogen, like that. Then, so here it is given that example, S sulfur is an element, it is denoted by the letter S. Hydrogen is denoted by the letter H. And the confusion came later. For example, we have given C for carbon, right? Same way. So we have taken C letter for carbon, but afterwards what is discovered? Cobalt is discovered. Okay, so what was the condition? We have to take the first letter. So in the case of carbon and cobalt, the first letter is C only. So we cannot use C for both the elements, right? C is not possible, because we will get confused which C is representing which element. So that what was the condition given by our IUPAC? What is IUPAC? By heart the full form of IUPAC. Okay, last year board exam it have came. Give the full form of IUPAC. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So, when two or more elements having same first letter, what was the condition given is we can use the first two letter as their symbol. So, in the case of cobalt, CO is the second letter. So, second letter we can use. The condition is only first letter should be capital and the second letter should be always small letter. Okay, understand? So, we cannot use second letter as a capital letter. Understand? So, what is the condition? The condition given by the IUPAC is we can use first letter as the symbol, first letter as capital letter for the symbol of, for the representation of an element. But if two or more elements having same first letter, then we can use the first two letter for their symbol, and the condition is only the first letter should be capital and the second letter should be small letter. Okay. And so, one condition is given, example is given, carbon, cobalt, copper, calcium, cadmium, chromium and chlorine. All are the elements whose first letter is C, right? All elements first letter is C. So, what they have done? Therefore, only carbon is denoted by the symbol C. So, among these all elements, the first discovered element is carbon. So, carbon go to C. Then, remaining element, how we will name? So, cobalt is denoted by the two letter CO. From the cobalt name itself, see, cobalt has CO is the capital first letter. So, C capital, O small letter. Then copper, copper's Latin name is cuprum, CUPRUM. Okay, see, if cobalt and copper, see, both are having CO name. So, for both of them we cannot take CO. So, instead of for copper, what they have taken? For copper, the symbol is taken from its Latin name, that is cuprum, Cu. Cu is taken. Okay. And for calcium, what is taken? Ca. Ca is taken for calcium. Understand? So, the only two letter we can do, not more than two letter we cannot take. So, then now for calcium we have taken Ca. For calcium we have taken Ca. So, now you see for cadmium also Ca is coming. So, we cannot take a cadmium Ca. So, instead of cadmium we are removing that A and we are taking Cd. Cadmium Cd. Understand? Then Cr for chromium. We can take a Ch also, but they have given Cr. Okay. And Cl for chlorine. Like this way, the only two letter we can take, we cannot take more than two letter. Okay, then the note given is this question. Now, what I am going to tell, this question came in board exam last year. Okay, CO is given for cobalt, and if we are taking this CO means, if we are taking both the letter as capital letter, what will happen? We know that C is carbon and O is oxygen. If we are writing like this way, it will be carbon monoxide. We should not write both the letter as capital letter. Only first letter should be capital and second letter should be always small letter. Okay, so it is written here, be careful about capital and small alphabet. Okay, don't write both the letter as capital letter. For example, CO means the element cobalt, but C capital letter and O capital letter means carbon monoxide. Okay, so when we are writing the symbol, just be careful. Only first letter should be capital. Second letter should be always small letter. Okay. Then, what are the properties of a symbol? By heart this one. Significance of a symbol. What we have to give? If we are writing, if I am writing here one symbol, K. Can you say which is this? On looking at the symbol, what we can say? A symbol is representing name of the element, right? Its name is representing, and what is representing? One atom of the element. This K means it is only K atom, potassium atom. If I am writing here 2K means 2 atoms of potassium. If I am writing here 12K means 12 potassium atoms. So, if we are writing only one letter like this way, that means only one atom it is representing. Only one atom is representing. And what is representing? The definite mass of the element. That means that one atom's mass will also represent. Mass of hydrogen is 1. If I am writing here 12 means 12 into 1. That means 12 mass will be. So, mass, one letter will be, one symbol will be representing the name of the element, the atom of the element and its mass. Okay. So, you see, For example, N represent element nitrogen, then it is representing only one atom of nitrogen, and the mass of nitrogen is 12 gram. Okay, don't want to by heart it. Okay, 12 gram of nitrogen. Mass of nitrogen is 12 gram, that is fixed value. Okay, no need of by hearting the atomic mass etc. Then this table all of you should by heart. This is the table, or this is the symbol of all elements that you have to by heart. Okay, magnesium, Mg, most of it you know. That means in 8th standard we have studied in the symbol of this element, hydrogen, magnesium, aluminum, everything we have studied. Only some elements we have to, we don't know. Okay, at least first 20 elements in our 8th standard we told you to study that first 20 elements atomic number and all. In that their symbol was there. That also you have to study. Then next we are going to study valency. What is valency? Okay, valency means in smaller classes you have studied valency is the combining capacity of an element. So this definition is up to 8th standard only. From 9th onwards we will not use that definition because that is for smaller students only. Now you are studying in 9th, going to attend board exam, so you have to give the standard definition, a proper definition for valency. Okay, so I am showing you one simple thing that we will study in the coming next chapters. One simple thing I am showing you. Okay, one atom. Consider sodium atom. What is the atomic number of sodium? I told you to by heart atomic number, first 20 elements atomic number, all of it. So sodium, what is the atomic number of sodium? Sodium's atomic number is 11. All of you should by heart this. Okay, and I have to we have studied in our 8th standard that the atoms, like there will be a nucleus and the electrons. This is 11 means the electrons. There will be electrons revolving around the nucleus in different orbit called shell. We have studied in our smaller section like this way. So these electrons will be representing, each shell have a name called K shell, L shell, M shell, etc. They have a name also. We have studied these all things. And if it is sodium have 11 electrons. So its electronic configuration, that means electrons will be arranged like K shell will always carry 2 electron, L shell will always carry 8 electron, and remaining shell will always carry 8 electrons. And here total 11 are there. So 2, 8, so 8 plus 2, 10, remaining only one more. So 1. So this is the electronic configuration. So the outermost shell is having only 1 electron. But I told that the electrons always need how many electron? They always need 8 electron. But here only 1 electron is there. That means this sodium is not stable in nature. This sodium will not exist in free state in nature. What this sodium need? Sodium want to attain stability. How it will attain stability? It want 8 electron in its last shell. But here in sodium, outermost shell contain only 1 electron. So it is not possible to sodium to attain stability. What sodium need? It need how many more electron? Plus 7. 7 more electron it need. So it is very difficult to take 7 electron. But it is very easy to remove this 1 electron. So what this sodium will do is, this sodium will remove this 1 electron. This 1 electron will be removed out, so that it will completely lose this K shell, it will get removed. This K shell will be completely removed, so that this sodium will exist with how many shells? Sodium will exist with only K shell and L shell. So that means now sodium is having how many electron? Now sodium is having, now it have removed this 1 electron, now it is having only 2 and 8 electron. Understand? So now you see, here sodium for attaining stability, what it have done? It have removed 2 electron, right? So what is valency means? Valency means combining capacity, but the proper definition that we have to give here is valency means the total number of electron that an atom can lose, gain or share to attain stability. What is valency? Valency is defined as the total number of electron that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction to attain stability. So what is valency? Valency is defined as the total number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction. Another example I am showing, chlorine. Chlorine's atomic number is 17. First 20 elements atomic number should be by heart. Chlorine's atomic number is 17. That means chlorine's outermost electronic configuration will be 2, 8. 8 plus 2, 10. Then 7, 17. So here in the case of chlorine, chlorine's outermost shell contains how many electrons? 7 number of electrons. What chlorine need to attain stability? It want one more electron to attain stability. So it is easy to gain one electron. So in the case of chlorine, chlorine is gaining electron. And in the case of sodium, it is losing electron. In the case of sodium, losing electron. Understand? So for attaining stability, how many electrons they are gaining or how many electrons they are losing or how many electrons they are sharing to attain stability is known as valency. So the proper definition for valency is, the number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction is called valency. This is the proper definition of valency. Okay? Clear? Any doubt? What is valency? Valency is the total number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction is called valency. Okay. So now you see one more topic, valence electron. What do you mean by valence electron? What is valence electron? Valence electron means the electrons present in the outermost shell. I told that sodium's electronic configuration is 11. So its atomic number is 11. So its electronic configuration will be 281. So the electron present in the last shell, this is known as valence electron. Okay, this is known as valence electron. What is valence electron? The electron present in the last shell or the outermost shell of an atom is known as valence electron. Don't get confused with valency and valence electron. Okay, valency means the number of electrons that an atom can lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction. And valence electron means number of electrons present in the last shell. Okay. Clear now? Then, so up to here we can study for today. So all of you should read the textbook, prepare your own lecture notes. So today we have completed symbols and valency. Valency only one small topic we have completed. We will start the remaining topics in the coming sessions. Okay. So all of you take care. Thank you.